So, you've got trash aim like me and you're trying to look for an easy weapon to use. Lucky for you, today we'll be going over the top 5 Hipfire SMGs. Make sure to subscribe for more metas like this, and let's start with the good old MP5. It's a famous firearm known by many gamers, and it also happens to be one of the best guns in this game right now. So, we're gonna make a nice Hipfire loadout. Now you see I've already put on like a camo, so I don't have to go back and customize it later. So let's just start with a barrel, which is the Lachmann Pulsar, for some hip recoil control and, movement speed, because we also want to be fast with our hip firing, alright? So the tuning here is damage range, because we don't need to ADS, and recoil steadiness, because that would really help a lot with the hip fire. Yeah, alright, let's move to the second attachment, which is the Syngard MKV. You can actually change it to like the SA Schalldampfer if you want, but I like the Syngard MKV more. Just look at the stats. I just like the stats on this one more, so we're gonna choose that. And then the tuning is bullet velocity and some recoil smoothness, because we don't need to ADS. We don't care about ADS speed if this is a hipfire loadout, alright? And now, for the underbarrel, we will be choosing the VX Pineapple, because it is the best grip for every hipfire SMG in the game, so you will see me use this attachment later on other guns. So for the tuning, we will be tuning away from ADS speed, and we will be tuning this a little bit to hip recoil control, alright? We don't want to tune this all the way here, because that will make us a bit too slow. And then after that, we will be choosing a bigger magazine, because
I need more bullets! I need more bullets! I need more bullets!
assuming that your aim is trash, you obviously will need more bullets if you want to kill an enemy. So choose the 50-round drum. There's no tuning for this because it's a magazine. And as for the last attachment, we will be putting on a laser, which is the Point GPO4. Now, the only bad thing about this laser is it's like pretty visible at the hip, so if you don't want to reveal your position, then choose the Hipshot L20 instead. But I personally prefer the Point GPO4 because it provides better hipfire accuracy. So let's just choose a nice little skin here. And then as for the tuning, we'll be tuning this to hip spread and sliding hipfire accuracy. And now we're gonna try this in the firing range so I can demonstrate it. So as you can see here, it's got some great hipfire accuracy, better than pretty much every other gun in the game when we're talking about hipfire. And the hipfire is so good, it's literally better than the ADS, because like you can see that the hip recoil control here is actually better than the ADS recoil control. Like, look at that, man. The hipfire is good, right? And our second gun is going to be the MP7, also known as the Vel 46 in Warzone 2, because Activision does not have the rights to use the gun's real names. So, our first attachment is going to be the LM Series 7, because it's got good recoil control and good hip recoil control, which are basically the same thing, but even better, because it's double. And the tunings here are going to be damage range and recoil steadiness, as recoil steadiness can help with the recoil control. So, our second attachment is going to be a muzzle, which can either be the Syngard MKV like our MP5 from earlier, or you can choose the Lockshot KT85 for slightly better recoil control, alright? The tunings here are going to be recoil control, of course, and recoil stabilization, because we don't need to ADS. And the third attachment is the underbarrel, and like I said earlier, we will be using the VX Pineapple, because it's great for almost every hipfire SMG. Now, obviously, hipfire accuracy and hip recoil control, but not all the way there, because we don't want to be too slow. And then the laser, of course. I'm going to be using the Point GPO4 because every hipfire SMG is built like pretty similar. So like just Point GPO4 and the Lockshot KD85 and this Pineapple underbarrel for like almost every hipfire SMG. So like you probably remember the attachment names by now. So Point GPO4, and the last attachment is going to be a stock, which is the collapse stock. So basically we don't use the stock for better hip recoil control and movement speed. Now you can actually change the stock to like a magazine for more bullets if your aim really is that bad, but if you're fine with having like 40-round mags, then yeah, just go with this. I mean, it looks good, right? It looks better than like a freaking ball sack or whatever, because like it kind of resembles the MP7 from Counter-Strike. I don't know if you guys see it, but yeah, really does look like it. And now we will be demonstrating this in the firing range. As you can see here, it's got great hipfire recoil control and hipfire accuracy. So if you feel like you're tired of a classic MP5, then this MP7 can be a great alternative for you. And the third gun we have here is the Boss P. It's the MP5 but modernized and smaller. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a barrel just like everything else. So it's gonna be the Ruin Drake because it's got good hip recoil control. And the tunings here is gonna be damage damage range because we don't need the ADS, and recoil steadiness because it does really help with the recoil steadiness. And second of all, we're going to be adding a muzzle, which is of course the Lockshot KT85. You probably remember this attachment by now, so yeah, whatever, just like recoil control and recoil stabilization, blah blah blah. And then for the underbarrel, of course, we're going to be using the VX pineapple just like every other Hipfire SMG, blah blah blah, hipfire accuracy, blah blah blah, hip recoil control, but not all the way because, like, again, we want to be a bit fast but also have good recoil control, alright? And of course, we want more bullets, so we will be choosing a 50 round drum just like our MP5. And then for the last attachment, we're gonna be adding the good old point GPO4 laser. And yeah, tunings are basically the same like the last few, so yep, that's it. We got our boss P. And now we will be trying this rip-off of an MP5 in the firing range, alright? Let's test out the recoil here. It's alright, but again, it's not as good as the MP5, so yeah, choose this if you just like don't like the MP5 for some reason. And our fourth gun here is going to be the P90, also known as the pdsw 528, again, because Call of Duty does not have the rights to use friggin' gun names. I don't know why. Guess they just like don't want to waste their money or whatever. I don't know much about laws and stuff, so whatever. Let's just add a barrel here, which is the Corvus Pro range. You can actually change it to the F-Tac defense if you want, but I personally like the Corvus Pro range more because it gives you better hipfire accuracy, damage range, recoil control, and bullet velocity. And the tunings here are going to be damage range and recoil steadiness. And as for the muzzle, you already know, like Lockshot KD85. This is like the universal muzzle for all SMGs, okay? So just recoil control and recoil stabilization, all the way to the recoil stabilization because you don't need to ADS, alright? It's a hipfire loadout. And for the underbarrel, again, you already know, VX pineapple, it's the universal grip for all the hipfire SMGs, so hipfire accuracy and a little bit towards hip recoil control. And then as for the laser, okay, this is getting freaking repetitive. You already know these three attachments, so like whatever, point GPO4, blah blah blah, suka blitz. And the last one is going to be the step 40 grip because it can help a little bit with the recoil control, right? So here, the tunings will be aiming idle stability and recoil steadiness. And yep, there we go. We have our hipfire P90. Let's try this out in the firing range, and okay, now this SMG's hipfire isn't actually that good, so I still sorta recommend you go in ADS, but like if you're in a situation where you don't have time to ADS, then like hipfire will do. So our last gun for this video is going to be the Fennec 45. Now this gun actually has the fastest fire rate out of all the 5s, so if you want to go then I highly recommend you use this gun. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a barrel, which is the ZLR Ignition barrel, because it's got good hipfire accuracy and recoil control. And the tunings for this is going to be damage range and recoil steadiness. Alright, and our second attachment is going to be the muzzle. Of course, we're gonna choose the Lockshot KT85. We're gonna tune it to recoil control and recoil stabilization. And we're gonna do the underbarrel. Mixed pineapple. Okay, just hipfire accuracy and hip recoil control. Okay, yeah. And then we're gonna add a 45 round mag because for some reason they don't have a 50 round mag, so like whatever, we'll just go with this. And then for the laser, we're gonna be choosing the point GPO4 just like pretty much every other hipfire SMG we have. And yeah, let's just tune this thing here, and then we have our Fennec 45 loadout. We're gonna be testing this in the firing range, and I'm gonna demonstrate to you how fast this gun's fire rate actually is. Yeah, it is definitely faster than the other guns, but the hipfire is not as good as the first 3, but it's fine, alright? The fire rate is gonna absolutely obliterate your enemies. So yeah, that's it for this video, but before I end it, I want to show you 5 clips of me using these 5 SMGs, so... Hey, let's go! Oh, what the hell is you doing here, dog? Hey, let's go! Yeah, those were actually clips from a bunch of my other videos, which I think I have put it on the top right corner of this video, like all 5 of them throughout the entire thing, so you can click back on those and check out the videos there if you want to, or you could just take a look at the description. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, watch these other videos here if you will. And yeah, I'm gonna end the video now. Adios.